Alright, welcome to On Base Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer of On Base Baseball. And in this video, I'm going to show you the newest version, which is On Base Advanced. We just released the 2019 All-Star teams, so you can try those out. They're only $5, and so hopefully it's a price that everybody could afford to be able to try out sort of this revolutionary new tabletop baseball game. So what is On Base? On Base is a sabermetric-driven tabletop baseball game, cards and dice game. And it comes with the three major components that you see here, which are the pitcher, the hitter cards, and the fielding matrices. And so these really are the core components of the game, and that's it. All you need is two D10 dice, and you're ready to go, on a scorecard, I guess, if you want to keep score. Yeah, that's it. So I just thought I'll walk through the components here. First, let's look at the pitcher card. So here's the pitcher card, and you can see here that it's got the pitcher's name, his throwing and batting. You read this as batting on the left, throwing on the right. His role, whether it's a starter or a reliever, his jersey number, and then here we have this sort of interesting table, and down the left hand side here you can see we have three letter groups, I guess. The first one is FA, that stands for fastball. The second one is BR, that stands for breaking ball, and then OF stands for off speed. So in On Base Advanced, one of the most unique things is that you can actually, we're looking at the pitch level, and not only the pitch level, but the pitch type level. So if you want to choose which pitch the pitcher throws, that's an option. You can do that for every single pitch. You can do that sometimes. You can do it never. So that's sort of your option to be able to do that. But there are multiple roles, and I'll just walk you through the roles a little bit, and it'll lead us into some of these other numbers. Let me just point out that down here is the these are just stats. There's some sort of general stats, and then more sabermetric stats, if you can see that. So walks per 9, Ks per 9, home runs per 9, the pitcher's WAR. We're using FIP over here instead of ERA. And also Sierra. Sierra is skills interactive ERA, so where FIP doesn't take into account any batted balls, Sierra does take into account batted balls, trying to figure out what makes a pitcher good. So that's sort of what Sierra is doing. And more traditional things like WHIP, batting average on balls in play, K percentage and walk percentage. Now these two over here are important because they're actually used within the game. Home runs per 9 are used within the game too, but they're given a value based off of the home runs per 9. So that's it's actually what this this home run value right here is based off of the pitcher's home runs per 9 innings. Okay, so the first role has to do with this pitch percentage. So the first thing we want to do, think about the at-bat. So maybe visualizing the at-bat will help you visualize each of the roles. So what does a pitcher do? He's standing on the mound in front of a batter. The first thing he needs to do is decide which pitch to throw, right? That's something that he's working out with his catcher. And we have the actual pitch percentages for the fastball, breaking ball, and off-speed pitches for, let's say, Max Scherzer. This is 2019. You can see down here he's with Washington, and so these are his actual pitch percentages. Now the red, what's with the red and the black? The red numbers are going to be used against right-handed batters, and the black numbers would be used against left-handed batters. So when he's throwing a fastball to a left-handed batter, 64% of the time he's going to throw a fastball. 16% of the time he threw a breaking ball, 20% of the time he threw an off-speed pitch. So you can see that he's throwing considerably more off-speed pitches to lefties than righties, and more breaking balls to right-handers than left-handers. and he's got a different mix here of pitches that he's throwing to different batters from different sides of the plate. So this is actually pretty cool just to see. Most people don't really look at this data, but it's kind of cool just to be able to see what's going on with each of these pitchers and the batters too. So, but this is our usable data. These are the numbers that we're going to use. So roll one, you roll, and then let's say it's against a right-handed batter, and his roll is a 17. So a 17 is between 1 and 49, so that's going to be a fastball. If it's between 50 and 92, then it's going to be a breaking ball, because it's those two numbers combined together. So each of these, all three of these should come to 100%, right? So it's sort of like a pie chart. There's one that takes up 49%, one takes up 42%, one that takes up 9%. But it's on a scale of 1 to 100 because we're using 2 D10 dice. So 1 to 49 is a fastball, 50 to 92 is a breaking ball, and then 93 to 100 would be an off-speed pitch. So since we have a 17, that's going to be a fastball. And then we go to the second roll. Second roll is that when he throws the fastball, he's throwing it to the plate. Is the fastball in the zone or is it out of the zone? And so this is the pitcher's in the zone percentage. So fastballs to right-handers, he put those in the zone 60% of the time. 28% of off-speed pitches to right-handers were in the zone. So you can actually see how effective his pitches were being in the zone. Now, being in the zone is not always what you want to do, right? So it's not like this is a negative, because 28% of his pitches were out of the zone. But more times than not, you want your fastball to be in or around the zone, right? So he throws a pitch, it's going to be a fastball. Our second roll is going to be 72. So 72 is going to be greater than 60. So 1 to 60, it would be in the zone. 61 to 100, it's out of the zone. So again, we're on the fastball line, so just keep remembering that it's a fastball. And we're going to be dealing with this fastball line the whole time for this at-bat, or at least for this pitch. Okay, and maybe not the at-bat, but the pitch, because we don't need to worry about these breaking ball and off-speed pitches. So 1 to 60 is going to be in the zone. Our pitch is a 72, or our roll is a 72, so that's going to be out of the zone. So it's a fastball out of the zone. And then we come down to, these are our swing and contact. Roll 3 is going to deal with the swing. So we have, you can see here that there's a Z swing and an O swing. O stands for outside the zone, and Z stands for inside the zone. So outside swing, zone swing, you can kind of remember those shorthand names. So since our pitch was outside the zone, we need to be focusing on these two areas over here. If it were in the zone, we'd be focusing over here. So our third roll, so roll 1, roll 2, roll 3. Our third roll is going to be 7. So that's going to be a fastball to a right-hander, and our number is a 7. Our roll number is a 7, so that's lower than 23. So anything between 1 and 23 is going to be a positive, a swing. So that's a fastball, and that's going to be a swing. And so he's swinging at the pitch outside the zone. And then we move over to from our O swing to our O contact. So the batter takes a swing. It's a fastball, it's outside the zone, the batter takes a swing. Does the batter make contact when he takes a swing? That's what we need to find out next. And the roll there is, we'll say the roll is a 42, and he does make contact. So anything between 1 and 62 is going to be a positive, so that's a contact. All right, and so that's the first 4 rolls on the pitcher card. And if that's true, that contact is made, then we move over to the batter card. Now our batter card here is very similar, but not the same. So you can see that we have our same pitch types down the left hand side, and then we have two areas here. One shows the different hit types, and then one shows the different contact types. And what this hit type does is it tries to answer the question, did the player get a hit automatically? And so this is our next roll, and basically we're going to be looking at our fastball line, right? So this is not on a scale of 100. This is a scale starting at 0 and then going up to whatever the combination of these numbers is. So the combination of numbers is 21 plus 8 is 29, 30, 33. So he hit 333, essentially. You can think about it that way. He hit 333 against right-handed fastballs. So down here it's 29, 33, so he hit 333 against breaking balls as well. And then 24 plus 7 is 31, so he hit 310. This is Michael Brantley. Obviously a very good hitter. His average was 311, so that makes sense. He's about, he's in the range of the 330s, 310s. 22 home runs, 90 RBIs. You can see his on-base percentage is 372, 367 OBA, which is above average, good, above average to good. So we're focused on this line here with the fastballs, and let's say our just for the sake of what we're doing, our roll is a 24. So a 24 on a fastball, 1 to 21 is going to be a single here. 22 to 29 is going to be a double. 30 to 31 is going to be, or a 30 is going to be a triple. And then 31 to 33, 31, 32, 33, yeah. 31 to 33 is going to be a home run. Okay, so we have a 1 to 33 chance of getting a safe hit just automatically off the bat. Once a batter gets a safe hit, you can move on, or you can decide to follow through to see where the ball goes. Okay, so in this scenario, a 20, what did we say, a 24? 24 would be a double. Okay, so we would mark down that Brantley got a double on that fastball out of the zone. And sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes the pitcher will throw a good pitch, or he throw a pitch out of the zone, and the batter still is able to get it in play, and sometimes even still hit home runs, right, on balls that are out of the zone. These are all stars, so these are guys who have really good numbers compared to the rest of the league, and they're very talented players. But let's say that the number was actually a 62, and so a 62 is greater than this 33 that is our possibility, 1 to 33. And so when that's the case, we move down to the next line, and we want to look at this line here because it's a fastball again. And we have fly ball, ground ball, line drives, and pop-ups. So we have 4 different contact types, and the contact type against a right-handed batter is the red numbers, right? Or a right-handed pitcher, because Scherzer's a right-handed pitcher, so that's why we're looking at the red numbers. So let's say our number here is a 58. A 58 is going to be a ground ball. So 1 to 24 is going to be a fly ball. 25 to 61 is going to be a ground ball, because that's adding these two together. These numbers will all add up to 100. So 62 to what was that, 93. 62 to 93 is going to be a line drive, and then 94, no, that can't be right. 62 to 90, yeah, 93, is that how it works out? So 50, 61, and then 62 to 93. I think that's how it's going to be. And then 94 to 100 would be a pop-up. I'd have to double check that. It does add up to 100. I just have to make sure that my math is right. So 25 to I don't know. I have to figure it out. It comes a little bit easier as you go along, and maybe some math wizards are better at this than I am. So anyway, our 62, it falls. Was that what we said? 62. At 62 would actually fall into the line drive category. So for this play, Michael Brantley's hit a fastball. The contact type is a line drive, and these four contact types correlate to the four types of matrices that we have. So if it's a line drive, you use this one. Ground balls, you use this one. Fly balls and pop-ups. So for our case, we have a line drive. So we're going to use the line drive matrix, and we'll roll one more time. And on this roll, instead of combining them together to create a 1 to 100 number, you take each D10 separately. So you do need to have some way to distinguish between the D10s. Just choosing one color, two different colors is an easy way to do that, because you need to know what's the first die and what's the second die. The first die, let's say we rolled a 6. That's going to be along the y-axis, so you start at the bottom and you go up to 6. So that's going to be the y, and then the second one is going to be along the x-axis. So let's say we rolled a 3, so it says a 6, 3, and that's going to be in the left fielder zone. So that's going to be a line drive to short left field in this square right here, because you go up 6 and then you go over 1, 2, 3. And you wind up at the left fielder. There's nothing inside the box here, so there's no special play. It's just an out to the left fielder. Now you can see that the outfielders are in squares, and that means if it was an 8-2, then you would do an error check on the left fielder. If it was an 8-6, you do an error check on the center fielder. So any squares are error checks, and you can see different plays. So like on a pop-up, maybe there's an opportunity for an error for a catcher. We don't have any errors on fly balls, but on ground balls you can see each of the fielders has an opportunity for an error check, even the pitcher. So what do the other markings mean? The other markings, the circles, are range checks. So if you think about this, think about a play. This is a ball that's sort of smoked down the line, down the third base line, kind of deep. So that's a place where your third baseman's his range is going to be tested, right? This one is sort of in between the shortstop and the third base in the hole, up the middle for the second baseman and the shortstop, in the hole for the second baseman. And then down the line, so very similar across the board. And then in the outfield, you're looking at line drives to the gap at the wall, basically, in that last little section before you get to the wall. So that's going to test your fielder's range. And then these are line drives down the line, deep down the line. So these are sort of testing the range of your different players. You can see similar things here with pop-ups. These are kind of where the infield meets the outfield, and they're having to range back to get the play. This is a catcher in foul territory trying to make a play. So try to be sensible about where the range checks should come in. These are ground balls, like in the hole here, up the middle, the ground ball down the line, and also like coming in to make a play at third, coming in to make a play, the first baseman, and then the pitcher, trying to move from one side to the other, or a catcher coming up the line to make the play. So try to make those make sense. And then the next one is a triangle, and the triangle represents an automatic double play. So if the ball's hit to any of these squares with a triangle, that's going to be an automatic double play. With a runner on first, it's super easy. If it's here to the second baseman, you just go 4-6-3, and bam, 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 you got the double play, right? If runners are on second and third, maybe that's a little bit more difficult, but if it was still hit to the second baseman, I'd probably still go 4-6-3, right? And then the runner would advance to third if there was less than 2 outs after the play. Or if the inning wasn't over because of the double play. You might want to play if it's bases loaded, that you go home to first, that type of thing on the automatic double play. Those things are up to you. I don't have those specifically built in, but only that you need to take a double play. So those are the main components. So the result of that entire play, from Max Scherzer to Brantley to the hit in the field, is a line drive to short left. Now I'm talking through it a lot, so having to explain it feels like it takes a long time. For the most part, I can get a 9-inning game in about an hour and 5 or 10 minutes at the most, depending on the action in the game. And that's sort of the overview. I'll do more specific things. There are some other numbers up here, checking, how to do range checks, how to do base running, how to do automatic Ks and the auto walks. We sort of have some things to normalize strikeouts and walks as well. But this is the basics of the game. That'll get you up and running, and then I'll put out a few more videos to do some more specific kinds of things with it. This is On Base Advance, definitely much more complex and complicated than the original version of On Base, but maybe this is something that you're looking for. It really does give you the look and feel of each at bat, each pitch, each at bat. Many games put you in the manager's seat, where you're sort of in the dugout watching the game happen in front of you. This game actually puts you on the mound and in the batter's box, so that you're actually making decisions at the pitch level, which brings in some interesting strategies that you can use. Things like taking a pitch on 3-0 to see if you get the walk. You can have your pitcher take 4 pitches to try to get on base. There's lots of different strategies that you can employ at the pitch level that they actually do employ in real baseball, that just isn't possible with an outcome by outcome sort of game. So hopefully that's interesting to you and unique in a way that that leads to a different type of experience, maybe a better or a funner type of experience with a tabletop baseball game. Well, I'll stop it here, and then sort of do some more granular videos with the different things that can happen during an at-bat. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.